Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, the color code okay. Red means we are not handing over this right now, so there's some work need to be done. So
What does
yellow
some work
means
needs to be done mean?
depending upon our call here now.
Okay.
Okay. So yellow means that not sure. So we need to arrive at the decision that what we need to do with this. Green means is clear that we can hand it over to the respective people, which whom I have already highlighted here. Okay. So I'm not going to overwhelm you with this. I'm going to show you a simple one. Okay. So let's start with Sterling Tower. So okay, Sterling Tower, I have two categories, general apps and IT. I will expand the general apps. General apps, we have Office 365, password maintenance, and we have the documents management, and we have other database. Uh, these
Right.
highlighted as a
Lawrence, if
not
I may
sure.
interject for a moment. Mark, the names that are attached to these tasks are basically the ones who are accountable after Lawrence leaves. So the
Okay.
direct person for the turnover will be the names that are attached in this one. Okay.
Got it.
Lawrence, please continue.
Thank you. So the name's in gray.
Yeah,
Correct.
the names are in gray.
Okay.
Okay. So the Office 365 password maintenance, we have some passwords like the earlier created for the older, I mean the people in the Sterling Tower, like my Skype password and your Skype password, and there are some like network password of your home password and all this thing, and also there are some website that is being used for the executive search Sterling Tower. So we need to know whether do we still need to have those website password to be maintained, or can we cancel those website
So,
password.
for me to answer that, is definitely this should be in yellow, right? And definitely there's going to be things that we no longer use. Almost sometimes maybe 100%. We say, hey, all this is junk now that we don't need it, right? Or maybe we need one or two, and the rest is junk, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So for just like when we're going to transfer files, that we need to list the files there, we need to list the accounts there we're talking about, and in those accounts, will it be green, yellow, red? Green means keep, needs to be continued to be maintained. Yellow, not sure. Red is very clearly this is no longer used. We might as well just delete it.
Okay.
Okay. So if
Okay.
you look at that as a subset, right, then you have green, yellow, red there, right,
Right.
listing the actual accounts, right, and then this is the superset of saying all this is under the category of Office 365.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hello. Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's it. That's all I have to say here.
Okay, so yeah, I will make a list of that. I have an exported Excel file, so I'll go and highlight it. Uh,
Mhm.
so just to give you a heads up here, if you have a plan to shut down the Sterling Tower entirely, that
Mhm.
some of the important that we are still using it can be
Mhm.
moved to the hinnomeglobal.com as a
Mhm.
general. Okay.
So if Sterling Tower is not shut down completely, at the minimum, it's going to be dormant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And our dependency on Sterling Tower for last time in the past, Dropbox accounts and days, and then everything was Sterling Tower. That was the primary, right? So when we look at it now, right, all of that dependency should be removed, right? Basically, we still keep one
Okay.
email address, mark.naidu@sterlingtower.com, use.sterlingtower.com.
Mhm.
That's about it. You know what I'm saying, right?
Okay. Got it.
Now,
Right.
um, so whenever we see sterlingtower.com, is we want to straight away say, hey, why is this sterlingtower.com, right? Do we still need this? Now the question is, do we change it to mark.naidu@inhomeglobal.com, or do we change it to mark.naidu.work@gmail.com? Okay, both
Mhm.
of them are generic in nature, and of course, thirdly is mark.naidu@hamptonpeak.com, right? Now, InHome Global is not a real company, right? There's no InHome Global company, right? It's a domain that we registered, right? For, but there is no InHome Global company. Okay. Now, when
Right.
we are signing up new staff or we're doing any HR matters and all that too, the company we use to employ staff and stuff like that is Hampton Peak, right?
Yes.
So, because we need to have like a consolidation of where people are employed and stuff like that. And the thing is, to get grants and to this and to that and all that kind of usual, is there's no InHome Global, right? Then we do InHome Portal. Then what happens if
Mm.
someone is doing some work, blah blah blah, under Hampton Peak, and it becomes very confusing. So what happens is that we employ people and register for things, from the government agencies and blah 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 under Hampton Peak, right?
Right.
Now,
Okay.
so that's a very brief history. So we didn't try to make it complicated for fun, right? That
Mm-hmm.
we really struggled with this as well too, to say how do we keep it neat and tidy. And I think for the most part,
Yeah.
we've done a pretty good job, right, in trying to standardize, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, when we change something from Sterling Tower, what do we change it to? Is it
Right.
Hampton Peak? Is it in-home global, or is it
That
the dot
work.
work account?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where that we need to come to a decision, and so that it's not confusing anymore. Basically, in a
Mm-hmm.
nutshell, is that if it's the registration of a site, something that no one ever sees, right? Dot work account
Mm-hmm.
as a catch-all wrapper, right? We always said the dot work account is a wrapper, right?
Yeah.
Right, in terms of it wraps everything around, right? And you know how you need Gmail accounts for certain things, and blah blah blah. We cannot use an in-home global, email account. But what
Yes.
happens? It becomes confusing, right? Is when do we use, in-home global? Right now, if we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be speaking to a client or someone real on the other side of the coin, then this is why we have in-home global. So how I look at it is that, where possible, I want to use the dot work account. Okay,
Mm,
and
okay.
where necessary from a governmental point of view, or statutory filing and all that too, then it becomes
Hampton.
that we use the Hampton Peak account,
Hampton.
right? In-home global is really used very very rarely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, let me tell you why we have in-home global, and Lawrence will can add some details here. Is that we have certain things that we register for and we do, right, that pertains to more than one company. Hampton Peak, Sterling Tower, In-Home Tech Guru, In-Home Portal, whatever it is, they all maybe use the same thing, right?
Okay.
So what we've tried to do is say, if this is only for in-home portal, nothing to do with Hampton Peak, like the accounting business, nothing to do with Tech Guru,
That's
whatever,
correct.
we use the in-home portal email account, right? Now,
Okay.
but if it's something that's shared, say Dropbox account, say, uh, I don't know, Form Stack or something that's used across companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we say use in-home global,
Global.
okay?
Okay.
Now, but this is confusing, right? So now I've asked Lawrence, several months ago to come up with a consolidated, approach towards email
Mm-hmm.
accounts, right? In terms of to consolidate the forums, which email accounts, and that's not done yet. Okay, and this has been sitting and sitting and sitting, and I don't know. Lawrence is having meetings and meetings and meetings with everyone. Okay, it's still not done, right? But this
That's
is
Mm-hmm.
what
generic email. Actually, that is nothing to do with what you're saying now. That's a
it is.
generic email, like a purchase of
It is.
software and
Let me tell you why that it is, right? Is It's a generic email. What extension do you use? What domain do you use? Do you use a Gmail? Do you use Global? Do you use in-home portal? Finance at what?
Mm, right.
Do you see why it does have something to do with what I'm talking about, as opposed to it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, like what you're saying?
yes, because this is actually came up with a different context because
No,
uh,
Lawrence. Lawrence,
when we
let me
when
save
we
you a lot of
use
time. Sorry,
we use the dot work, I mean Gmail account. We haven't created.
let me save you a lot of time. What I asked you to do is related to this. Okay?
I don't recall that, but
Okay.
fine. So
Okay.
I have the task.
Finance, right, or the subscriptions for forums, right, is the generic email accounts. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. What is the domain extension at the end? Would it be a Gmail account? Would it be a in-home global or in-home portal? You don't have an answer now. Agree?
We have already created using the Gmail account.
Yeah. So is there a standard policy that we know, right, what that policy is then? Of when to use what? Because if so, that is related to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that? Or
Yes,
if you
yeah.
don't understand that, I cannot keep explaining this to you, Lawrence.
Okay, go ahead, carry on.
Do you understand that?
Carry on.
Do you understand that? I'm asking you a
Yes,
question.
carry on. Yes, carry on.
Okay. So coming back to the domain extensions, doesn't matter whether it says Mark or Finance or Peter, Paul, Mary or whatever it is. What is the domain that we would use, right?
Right.
Okay. So this is why I didn't want this transferred to like John without us thinking about it in conjunction with John, as opposed to here John take it, boom, and then the guy's like, what the hell do I do with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So, right, when we come up with the various scenarios that we know that if we have a account, right? Let's just say something is form stack, for example, right? And it's a mark.naidu@sterlingtower.com. We say, hey, okay, what do we change it to? Do we change it to mark.naidu.work? Do we change it to mark.naidu@inhome global? Do we change it to mark.naidu@hampton peak? Right? Do we change it to mark.naidu@inhome portal? Or do we change it to services or tools, right? .work at gmail.com, tools at inhomeportal.com, tools at inhomeglobal.com. Okay.
Right.
Whether
Okay.
it has my name or not. You see, in the past, everyone would use my name. I would get a ridiculous amount of spam and notifications and on a daily basis from like every freaking thing, because some of the sites, right, didn't allow, from a payment point of view, it's different. It's the same email address from you sign up for account and all that too. So everything is mark.naidu, right?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Okay.
Yes.
So this is where what I asked Lawrence to do from a policy, from a generic name point of view, is related to what we're going to be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Can we go on to the next item, please?
Yeah. The next item is the documents management. We have some documents actually in the styling tower domain that we have kept. Example, the template and checklist, which is related to the executive search form. So we're not sure whether we want to keep this or we want to move this or we want
This is
to
exactly the same.
delete it.
With the files, if we have, for example, something that's very, very relevant to only headhunting, right? Then we say, do we archive this one day, for now, so that in the future, one day we ever want to sell the company, or someone says, oh, this is very valuable, whatever it is, the policies or the any templates or structure, we say or we say, what, we're it's such a stretch, we'll become like junk, collectors, right? Like hoarders. We just keep hoarding things, right? Keep on backing
Right.
up, right? We say let's just get rid of it. Or are they things of generic nature that can be used, right, in our business in Inhome Portal and Hampton Peak? For example,
Okay.
confirmation of appointment. Okay. There's a template that says confirmation of appointment. Hi, John. I look forward to seeing you on fill in the template name. On this date, this time, at this, fill in the field, location, right, according to this date and time, and etc. Other things like that. So once again, we have to look through that and see. We want to be careful to not throw away stuff, right, that we want, and neither do we want to keep junk. So it's a balancing act. Agree, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Next is the same thing, but there are some other databases. For example, we have the contact directories and we have the company directory, which is related to the contact directory.
Yeah, where?
This is
in
basically
Podio,
these
or
are
is
the
this in
list of
365 or what?
Office 365.
Okay, so it needs to
Basically,
say that. Okay,
yeah.
so the way that you've structured it here is not correct. Okay, because you should have, if all of this is under 365, right? Shouldn't you put Office 365 at the top, but in the bottom you have it? Shouldn't there be subsets of 365?
Yeah, if I name the Office 365, then these are all
No,
subsets in that.
Yeah, let's not talk about a long story. Shouldn't it be a subset under 365 if it's named?
Yes.
Okay, so that needs to be done because this looks like there's only one thing under 365. This is not correct. So your model is wrong. You need to add 365 here.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Yeah. Okay. So the decision actually we need to arrive. What do we do with the contacts directory or company directory that we
As we
have?
said, then we need to see it and we need to understand it
Yes.
further. Okay, next.
Okay. So coming to the IT group.
Mhm.
The IT group here is basically this is an all in red. The
Mhm.
reason is because my recommendation is like example, if I go to email, actually we are not using these emails almost a
Mhm.
year and a half or something. So we need to again make a decision here. So
Mhm.
that to keep one email or even that one email can be transferred to the other domain as a to
Yeah.
get the email.
Mhm.
So the next one is the domain management. Okay,
Mhm.
so that means like HostGator, we have already mapped all this domain created and started using for the emails and started using for the website. So do we need to still need to keep the Sterling Tower website?
Mhm.
So my recommendation is Sterling Tower website actually is I've already shown it to Ash about it that we
Mhm.
can I'm not sure whether since there is no the business the activity here, shall we shut down that website completely from the HostGator?
Mhm. Okay, so these are all things we need to go in one by one, right? If it's
Yeah.
very clear, people are clear on what we're talking about, there's very clear definition,
Right.
I can come in and I can help in the decisions after you guys have a opinion, right?
Uh,
That's why I
Okay.
want to do this when Lawrence is still here.
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Mark.
So the main
Yeah.
thing is if you present it in a way that's clear, I'll give you a very clear answer. If it's given to me, oh, I forgot, and then everything is so painful, right? I didn't think
Mhm.
about this, blah blah blah. Then of course, I cannot make a decision unless I see the information, right? So this is just a general overview. I understand, right? Right.
Mhm.
So if we say, okay,
Yes.
these are the things we're going to start hand over to John. These are the things we do in conjunction with John, right? Blah blah blah. I'm more than happy to
Mhm.
give my time and my energy as well and support towards this. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Mark, I would also want to clarify here that these items in red, we are not turning them over to anyone, but Lawrence has to do the closing of all these activities before he leaves. So it doesn't mean that it's red. There's nothing to be done. Lawrence will need to do the necessary activities to close these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Move on to the.
Yeah.
Let's close this. Close this. Close this. Okay. So I'm moving to the innomtechguru.com. Then again, we have the two subsets here. The one is the general apps. Under the general app, we have only one item. That's the Office 365 password. We have some password. Basically, we are still maintaining, but those passwords are nothing. Actually, it's only the email passwords here. Okay. So we are not turning this over because there is no activity for the last almost 1.5 year there. So again, here the decision to close down this domain or to keep it. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
moving to the IT, again IT because email management again related to this Office password. There are only three emails that we have kept it here. So there's some work need to be done after we take a decision and close this. Then we can close this Innom Tech Guru domain. So
Mm-hmm.
again here, this is in yellow. The reason is because we have the
Mm-hmm.
innomtechguru.com website. So this website, I think we have put a lot of effort, I know. So do we still keep this website or shut it down or keep somewhere, not to publish? I'm not sure about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So these are all things we need to go through, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this audit process, as I said, we have level one, which is this high level, but we need to move faster than this because it's taken
Mhm.
almost 3 weeks to get to this stage. Okay.
Right.
Then if we keep on dragging like this, it's going to be frantic at the end. Okay. So right, Lawrence.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to move fast in this. If the information is presented clearly, blah blah blah, and all that too. Now, as you know, that we're very busy with FEI and all kinds. Alma's mother had a stroke last; she had to resign automatically, and blah 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 blah, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so right now, at the same time, if we leave it with you, right, do you know what needs to do? So this is why Ash, right, is
Mm-hmm.
helping give direction, right? Lawrence, that you're working closely with him, right? You guys know how I work. I'm not saying that I'm the best boss in the world or whatever it is. I'm probably the worst boss in the world. Okay, but I can only make decisions in a way that's very clear to me. Otherwise, I need to say sorry, I cannot decide, and then I have to go. But if you say, Mark, can I have 15 minutes of your time, and you show me very clearly, right? Then in that 15 minutes, I can decide. In the 15 minutes is long stories, and then all kinds of excuses or whatever it is. I cannot decide. Then I'll say sorry, I need to go, and then it'll be okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and it goes on and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so break it up into pieces, right? Into exactly, you're very clear on what this is, what are the reasons why, done the research, right? And then okay, good, I can decide.
Right.
hmm Got it? Next.
Got it, Mark.
So moving to the Hampton Peak. So the
hmm
Hampton Peak is actually an active company. So we have general apps here. Okay, under the general app, we have the Office password 365 maintained here. Then we have some RTCs that I've been submitting. So by my daily, weekly, monthly RTCs are just nil. Actually, I'm not doing any activity here. Only
hmm
the yearly one is there is some activity that is related to the password maintenance. So that can be handed over. So the red one we're not going to hand over here. Do we still need to submit the empty RTC? That's the question that we have.
You tell me.
Mm, I would say no, because when you have multiple and series of the
No. So
checklist.
okay, so this is exactly the same, right? When you look at a checklist, we cannot throw away the entire checklist, right? Because we don't know what's in the checklist. So within the checklist, right, this is linked to the accounts and the other things, the files and all that too, right? Because the checklist pertain to maintaining those things. If we don't have those things anymore, then why there's nothing to maintain, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you look at the checklist, right, in the items in the checklist for daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, right, you have green, yellow, red. Okay. Green we keep, yellow we're not sure, red we say this is a waste of time. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly the same. Okay, we cannot throw away the things that we did because that will be a disaster to throw away all of the work that we did. Neither do we want to keep stuff that is junk. Okay,
Mm.
Yep.
back to you.
It's not, the question is not about throwing away. It's a question about handing over to the other person who is able to continue and take over and do it. So my recommendation is actually when we still have the checklist. Example, the use is having something daily. Maybe my role may not have any activities.
No,
Lawrence.
yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My
So
role, there is no activities. Maybe
yeah.
use
So
is actually submitting the Hampton Peak checklist for daily, weekly, monthly.
right, but we need the first question, Lawrence, is what are the activities that we are gonna maintain under these checklists, right? Green, yellow, red. And then
Mhm.
after we identify that, depends on the nature of the activity, then we'll identify who's gonna be the ones accountable for these activities already. Got it? So we look at what we maintain first in the checklists, and then we identify with these activities, the nature of these activities, who's the best person to take it over.
Yes, exactly. So Lawrence, why do you keep on repeating the same thing over again? Okay, that we already know. Okay, so we need to take a look at the list: green, yellow, red.
Okay.
Next.
So next is the IT group. And
Mhm.
under the IT group, I have the email management. That's all related to the Hampton Peak. That's active, so that we can be handed over to JP. And then we have
Mhm.
the domain management. That's on the
Mhm.
HostGator, that Hampton Peak domain. And we
Mhm.
also have a website that need to be handed over to the JP.
Mhm.
And then we have the RTCs again here. This again only one RTCs that I've been submitting. That's monthly. That can be handed over to JP.
Mhm.
So moving to the next one, that's the hinomglobal.com. Hinomglobal.com, I have again here the general apps. Under the general apps, I have the password. Again, the
Mhm.
inumglobal.com is an active
Mhm.
domain, so I have the password here. Then that can hand it over to JP, and I have the ELS management. That's wherein we actually credit we have a system of crediting and
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
prorating the leave
Mhm.
balance. That's in handed over. It's just a part of the operation,
Mhm.
so Ash can take over that.
Mhm.
Then we have a general, people when come on board, offboarding and onboarding. So those items is actually the responsible, accountable, and responsible. I think Ash is being made as an accountable, and
Mhm.
JP is actually responsible because
Mhm.
most of them related to the IT setup and all those things.
Mhm.
So moving on to the RTC, the RTC related to the general apps of all
Mhm.
the four can
As a
be
general overview, I'm fine with this. You don't need to go through each
okay,
one by
fine.
one. Okay, next.
Okay. So moving on to the IT here.
Mhm.
The IT part here. Again, here we have the Global under the domain hardware
Mhm.
inventory management, the software inventory management. Then we
Mhm.
have a podium management that we
Mhm.
actually do. Then we have a Dropbox which is created for all the employees and with the shared folder.
Mhm.
And the RTC is related to the IT. And then we have the equipment handover that the use is taking over from me, whatever the equipment I have.
Mhm.
Okay, so coming to the domain management, there is one item in yellow. Under the domain management, we have a GoDaddy and we also have the HostGator. Under the HostGator, we have term domains, example deepstein.com, then hinompet.com. We are not sure whether that domain still need to be maintained. Those domain can be shut down.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay. So moving to the portal.com. Okay. Again, here I have general apps, the password maintenance that will be handed over to JP. Then I have IT group, that's email, and then the domain management. Then it comes to the portal content. I have a two subsets, which is the content management ongoing process. The content management, I have the upload circulars, meeting minutes. That's been, I think, identified as the JP can do that. And then the e-bulletin and the MailChimp go hand in hand, and that's the accountable and responsible. Joy has been made as the accountable and Ash is the responsible. There is a process which is related to the e-bulletin, that is also the Ash and Joy. Then adding a new user is the process that's called Limjun. This is not the Limbo or
Mhm.
the other one. This is the regular,
Limbo
adding
version. Yeah.
the Limjin. So that's
Mhm.
JP can do that. So
Mhm.
Dropbox file storage, we have
No,
an
that's not
internal and
JP that needs to do that, right? That is more the joys and ashes of the world. This, I want JP to be doing technical things,
okay,
okay?
Mhm.
Things that a business user cannot do,
okay.
Okay.
okay?
So noted that. So that will be then the Ash made
JP
accountable.
can also know how to do it. Nothing wrong with that, right? But it shouldn't be, oh
Mhm.
my God, we need JP to like do this,
That
okay?
will be more overwhelming, it's just the routine thing. Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't understand what you just said. Go ahead, say again.
yeah. I think because basically in a routine work with someone, even the admin person can do it because everything is set. So they just have to go there and set the email to the user.
Well,
Yeah.
basically, if business
Exactly,
users do not
Lawrence.
know how to add a user, right,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that means they shouldn't be working with us. Simple as that.
Uh,
Mhm.
They should go find
uh.
another job, basically, because
And JP
it's
is not
so basic.
admin, Lawrence.
No, no, no. I'm saying any admin people can do it. I said not
Okay.
that just the JP. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, anyone should be able to
Yeah.
add a user in WordPress. And if
Mhm.
they're not sure, need make mistakes, whatever it is, then basically it's to find another job. Because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying honestly, you know, I mean, these are so basic things. They need to go work in a company that is more old-fashioned, right? And that the users never even touch anything like that. Okay, but we are a advanced, you know, web-based company. Okay, so that's why
Yeah.
every person that works with us can create apps, and they know how to create apps of a certain standard and stuff like that in Podio,
Mhm.
right? Podio apps exactly the same. Okay, but it'll take time, right? For some people, more than others, right? So Ash, I'm saying this also for your benefit, right?
Yeah.
right? Uh, is very, very, very important, right? That the
Mm-hmm.
basics are there. Some people will be more inclined because they're interested in stuff, or people like Lawrence have worked for 9.5 years with us, right? So therefore he gets all this stuff. It's not like he understood it right from day one, and like himself. I spent many hours with Lawrence, right, to help him in these various areas. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
but I want the likes of JP, not looked at as anything to do with the you know copying of a file or doing of this. Everything we have to turn to JP, right? Then that's a waste
Right.
of his time as well. Okay, so some of these
Okay.
people that are accountable and all that too, I don't agree with. And what I don't like about this model, it says in gray, right? Like, what does that mean? Ask Joy. You cannot have two people that are accountable in RASI. You can only have one.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the
Yeah.
RASI model here?
The first person here, Mark, is the one accountable, and the second one is the one responsible. We
No, but it's
made
not
it
clear.
this right.
It's not clear. But like, why don't you just have, right, RACI, right? Use one
Mm-hmm.
color for each one, right? Right? And you can say, put R if you want, or use the color, right?
Yeah.
So, so the person that's accountable, right, is,
Mm-hmm.
person in, I don't know, purple or what have you, right? And just say,
Right.
person R equals, person responsible. You can have more than one person that's responsible. You can have three, you
Correct.
can have 10. You can only have one person that's accountable, right?
Yes.
Person that's informed, right? You can have more than one. You need to inform Mark. You need to inform this person. The person that's consulted, can be a duplicate, can be Mark or Michael or whoever.
Right. Yeah. Mark,
To make it clear.
yes,
Mm,
I'm also sharing my screen. Actually, we have
okay.
an Excel version of this mind map wherein
Mhm.
we identified RASI.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I
Okay.
understand it can also be shown in the mind map
Exactly.
for just a
Yes.
glance it can be seen. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm. Okay. Back to you.
Yeah. The Dropbox file storage, we have the internal and external Dropboxes that need to be maintained for the clients.
Mhm.
Then we have the mid-end custom post type.
Mhm.
There are certain custom post type that they need to
Mhm.
be doing in day and out actually.
Mhm. Mhm.
They should know the local amenities,
Mhm.
changing text, adding images,
Mhm.
facilities. All those things will be covered under here.
Mhm.
Then the client interaction is completely Jai for the content management now.
Mhm.
So then the RTC, whatever the RTC related to the content management
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
actually signed here.
Mhm.
Coming to the content implementation, this is the one-time process. Upload contents, logo, images, document, text,
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
And then the president address book, that's a get the address book, clean up and prepare it to be imported. Then content approval. I think once we get a content, we also need a follow a process that we get a approval from the condo manager. Then that someone needs to be doing that. So till they complete the approval of all the pages. Then we have the mid-end setting. That means once you set up the new condo, then we have certain like a Mailchimp setup. That's the SendGrid setup,
Mhm.
and if it is the facilities, it's FBI setup. All these things will be done
Mhm.
by
Where's your
somebody
other
here.
category here?
There is no other actually, because we have
Then
almost
put other,
identified.
put other,
Mhm.
and put nothing.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I will add that.
Mm. Okay, next.
Yeah, that's it actually.
Okay.
So.
So there's two parts that need to happen from here. One is to start the
Mm-hmm.
handover with JP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
In a very clear, measurable way, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
just to JP, but to everyone.
Mhm.
Who's in charge of this, who's in charge of this, right? Stuff like that. When I say clear and measurable, right, there needs to be a time set aside where the person says,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, I certify that I know how to do this." Just like when we do the staff, the onboarding,
Correct.
Mhm.
right? If the person is tested and they're certified, they say yes, stamp of approval, they know how to do this, right? It's not like, okay, I told you, then, oh, I forgot, no, you never said that, blah, blah, blah. Every time there's any training or testing, it needs to be recorded, right, in Google
Mm-hmm.
Hangouts. right? So there's something to refer back to. So all training, right, is done by
Right.
Google Hangouts, recorded and done in blocks. It's not just like one 3 hour Google Hangouts because it's very hard to track that way. You say, okay, now we're going to be covering the this. Okay, then you start one Google Hangouts, you label it properly, right? And who's that YouTube, the account going to be associated with, and then it needs to be stored. Like I want, so Lawrence has his handover app, right? Apps,
Yes.
right? His workspace and all that too. So it needs to be listed there under each category. You have 20 categories here. You have 20 categories in the app.
Uh,
Okay.
The story items
So
like
that you can click, you can filter, say who's the person that's accountable for this. Then what we want to see is the training done, yes or no? Has the test been done, yes or no? Right?
mhm.
Right? And is the person, right, passed to say that they're green, right? That means they're master, right? Yellow,
Mhm.
still not sure in some areas, or red, completely blur.
Okay.
Everyone will start off completely blur for the most part, or maybe some people start off yellow saying that they already know how to do this. I can add users or blah blah blah, right? So like I want this. So by the time Lawrence leaves, right, on September 9th as a full-time employee, right,
Mhm.
everything should be green.
Yes.
Okay, everything should be green. Then Lawrence will carry on for his 6 weeks, right, as a contractor. And if that works out well, right, we will have a chat with Lawrence. Lawrence can have a chat with us and say, hey, Lawrence, do you want to do some part-time work with us on a weekly basis? Maybe 10 hours every week, right? Lawrence maybe say,
Mhm.
no, I hate you guys. I don't want to have anything to do with you, right? Or maybe he might say, yeah, that's quite good, because he can earn some extra income that way as well. Okay, so I'm watching this whole process, right,
Mhm.
right, to see how clearly can we work in a harmonious manner, right, in a
Right.
contractor basis, right, going forward, for what time frame.
Mhm.
Okay, so I am watching this, right. Now this
Okay.
is obviously, I don't mean this in a bad way, right. I mean it in a way, right, to say, is it worth it? If it's gonna be so painful for Lawrence, right? Lawrence, I said, Lawrence, I don't want to put you through this, so I can see it's very painful for you, right? Or it's so painful for us. I say, hey, I can't. I have to be fair to Joy, Ash, even myself, right? My blood pressure is going up as well. Right? Then I say, hey guys, let's all part as friends and say thank you very much. Okay, if Lawrence, you want to potentially do some things with us, then do this really, 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 really well. Okay, okay, and Ash and whoever's listening to this, right? If you want to have Lawrence still doing stuff with us, 10 hours every week or something on a part-time basis or whatever it is, then make sure it happens really, really, really well. Then I'm more than happy to
Yes.
look at these possibilities. Does that sound reasonable, or am I being unreasonable? You can tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Reasonable, Mark.
Okay, good. Next, anything else here?
Okay. Yeah, that's it, Mark. That's it.
Okay, so
Mark,
Ash,
can I add?
yeah,
Sorry.
just 1 second. Like I need to
Mhm.
say a very clear action plan, very, very clear, right? Okay,
Right.
so work
All
very,
right.
very closely. I want to see daily updates on this, right?
Mhm.
Like I want to be able to open the app and see there's 100 items in there, and then the next day there's 97 items, and the next day there's 92. I want to see it
Mhm.
coming down. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see some sort
Okay.
of plan, right? Some sort of schedule of how is this
Mm-hmm.
going to
Mhm.
happen by September 9th. Okay,
Okay.
during
All
this
right.
block, this block, this time, right, and that kind of stuff. So Lawrence is not, some employee has been with us for 3 months, like Alma, and also he's been with us for 9.5 years. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
it's not just a quick flip. There you go, right? So we want to try to preempt any hiccups and stuff like that, so because otherwise it'll lead to a lot of stress for a lot of people.
Right.
Okay, so like
Okay,
I want
Mark.
to see this schedule, right? And I want this to
Mhm.
be monitored daily. Okay, Ash, daily.
Mhm.
Right? Twice a day if you need to, right? Anything, right? Is anytime I ask a question, I should be able to give me an answer.
Okay.
Okay, and we're all here to support Lawrence as well, to support. If you need any weekend work done, right, Ash, you need to say, Lawrence,
Mhm.
I need you to do something Saturday. I need you to do something Sunday. Okay. Again, we're watching at the commitment level because we usually never ask staff to work on weekends. Ash, I know that you work weekends, I work weekends,
Mm-hmm.
right? Some staff do and some staff don't. Right? They have to understand. People like Lawrence, you have to understand, right? That when it comes to times like this, we have to work weekends, right? Now, if you say you already work weekends, then that's great, right? Then coordinate with Ash as to when, right? And we have to rotate our personal lives, right, to make some sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I tell you what, come rain, come shine, right? If this is, if this doesn't go well, right, I'm going to be very very pissed off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
very very
Mark.
pissed off. Okay, so I just tell you all like upfront. Okay, so write this down in your diary, saying this is damn serious. Okay, so we ask for an IT guy dedicated. I've hired John.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, operations person. I hired Alma. Okay. What's happened with Alma is nobody's fault. She didn't quit because I scolded her or whatever it is. Her mother had a stroke. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Cannot be helped. Trying to find another person and all that too. That one we know it all happens in parallel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we have enough people with us to make sure that this happens correctly. I want no excuses. I don't want to hear I forgot. I never thought of this, at that, at that, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay, Mark. Yes?
All right. Lawrence, cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. So JP should listen to this, right? I think that you
Mm-hmm.
can even ask Joy to offer it to her if she wants to listen to this because it is going to affect her as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're now supposed to do a call about the e-bulletin. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now, is JP going to attend that call for the e-bulletin or not?
Lawrence?
I'm asking you, Ash. Why don't you answer?
He is not attending, Mark, because this is the pending e-bulletin meeting that we had last week with Lawrence.
No, I understand all of that history. I'm saying, do you want John to attend this call? If so, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, then why is it that you didn't bring it up yourself? You need me to ask you? You cannot think yourself? You should be able to think yourself. Okay, so these are the kind of like
Mhm.
very in your face questions I'm going to be asking you. Now, generally, when I ask these sort of questions, people say, Mark, that you make me feel stupid. Mark, that
Mm.
like I don't like your style, right? Stuff like that. Okay, so now I don't know any other way, right? If I need to keep on asking these questions, if you should be able to ask yourself these questions yourself. Okay, so even though it
Okay.
doesn't sound nice when I'm saying it, right, and you say, Mark, you make me feel stupid, or whoever says they make me feel stupid. I'm not saying Ash, you've ever said this, but I'm saying, generally speaking, people say, oh, Mark, you make me feel stupid, right? But the thing is I'm not that smart. I really am not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why is it you guys cannot ask yourself the same question? So if you want, right, you better please ask your questions yourself. Stop waiting for me to ask these questions.
Okay.
Okay, both Lawrence and Ash. Okay, be independent, be and own this yourself. Now you want John to attend this meeting. Is that right? For the e
Yes.
bulletin.
Yes, Mark.
Why?
Because he is one, he needs to understand how it's being done.
Why?
Um, because I know it's not technical, but it would be good that if you have like issues in the future that might be um related to this one, at least he has a background. A good opportunity for him to get oriented on the process.
Wait, you're saying it's not technical, yet you want him to be involved. Why?
Because he is still in the orientation phase, right, Mark? And he needs to
What does JP's role have to do with sending out an e-bulletin?
nothing to his direct role, but it's a good FYI for him that this is a process that we do, such that in the future we don't know if there are issues that relate to this one that affects him. he has already a background.
I think that you have to be careful about this. What you're saying is, FYI, but where does the FYI stop? The call will be recorded. Why is it he cannot just listen to it? Why is it he needs to be in the call? How long does the call take? Is it going to be like a 1 hour call? Then where does it stop? Then how come you don't want to ask Ingo to get involved as well? Let's ask John. Let's ask Daryl. Let's ask Gian. Let's ask everyone to come and listen to this. Is it because that you're scared that you don't know what's going to go on, so you want more backup? Okay. If it's scared, right, then you need to say, because I'm scared, Mark. Right? Then I'll say, why are you scared? Because there's nothing technical. Lawrence is not a technical person. Okay. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, Mark.
So, do you want John involved or do you not? What's the final answer?
If it's just an FYI, then no, not
No. I'm
necessarily
asking
for this
you.
one.
You, Ash, you need to decide. It is not. It's just a FYI or whatever it is. You make up your mind. Decide. Be responsible. Be accountable. Be a leader. Right? If you want, you say, Mark, I insist that I want, and these are the reasons why. Do not keep flipping and flopping.
No.
Now you say no. Just now, like 2 or 3 minutes ago, you said yes.
Yeah, because Mark, now it's clear to me that
But why do
John
I need
is
to make
just
it so
an
clear to
FYI.
you that you should be clear yourself, Ash?
Yeah. Well, I'm just explaining why I changed my answer.
No, don't change your answers. Okay? I want to see leadership skills. Okay? Officers need to be leaders. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So come on, let's have some gumption here, right? Right? Be assertive, right? If there's something here and you say, I want him involved for this, he'll sit in for the first 5 or 10 minutes, then he can go, whatever it is, he can listen to the video after, whatever it is. Please give me a sense of comfort that, that if I say one thing, you're so easily influenced. You need to have an opinion, okay, Ash? So don't sit on the fence, because no matter what you want to do, you want to sit on the fence, I will not let you sit on the fence.
Okay, Mark.
Can you have a call with me, Ash, separately, please, and with Joy
Okay.
as well? Okay.
Okay.
So Lawrence, you can stand by, please. Start a Google Hangouts, please, and get Joy on the call as well.
Yeah, I need about 2 minutes to get set up everything.
Thanks,
So
bye.
just start the Google. Thanks.